What's up, everyone? I hope all of you that wanted to Switch 2 managed to get one. I know that's probably not the case.
We were on till I think what, like 1 o'clock in the morning, at least my time.
1 a.m. I think it was 2 a.m. your time. I think
Yeah, I think it
earlier.
was 2 at one
Yeah, we
point.
were up.
Yeah.
We were up late. I did hear from a lot of people that they really appreciated us doing that stream, though. Like both for like having a general idea of how things are going, but also like helping to deal with the stress of it all. And now, Nick, as you mentioned, people who were watching last night know that we managed to get our pre-orders in. I actually got mine in pretty quick. Yours took a little bit longer, as I recall, but we both
Yeah,
got it
and
in. Yep.
I was gonna say, yeah, like you said, that one trick worked for me because I was in line and we got ours both through Walmart. I was stuck at the 1 minute countdown, loaded it into a different tab, and was able to put it in my cart right away. So that actually did work.
Yeah, I'm so glad it did. And then, but beyond this, though, you and I both have the experience of doing it in person as well. So I wanted to discuss, both everyone's experience, but I've heard it's been all over the place. Some people have, it's been not too bad. Others have been stressing out. I know people, including friends, who have not been able to get their own pre-orders now, including one that went to a GameStop on his lunch break to buy it or to pre-order it. And then he realized that GameStop had closed like months ago, back in January. It's the worst. So I want to find out from chat how how it went for all of them. But before we get to that, Nick, how was your in-person pre-order experience? But I guess real quick. So doing
Yeah.
it live, it was a little messy, a little stressful, but we both managed to get it through. But it was definitely more stressful than I think we were hoping for. But how did it compare to your in-person experience going to GameStop, I believe, right?
Yeah, so I went to GameStop in person and I stopped by yesterday to check how many they were getting in the store. They said, I believe, 20 of the console only and then 45 of the Mario Kart bundle. I got there this morning around like 7 o'clock, 7:30, and there was about 10 people ahead of me. And they actually put on the door how many they were going to have. So again, they had, I think, 19 and then 43 because I assume some of the coworkers had some pre-orders because they wanted to guarantee them for themselves, which I don't blame them. So, like I said, I was maybe like 10th or 12th in line, somewhere around there. But yeah, we waited for like what, 3 or 4 hours, and eventually by the time I left, I think there was almost 60 people in line.
Wow.
So it was packed at my GameStop. But yeah, like the process was relatively easy. I went up, they allowed only two people at a time. I
Yep.
said, hey, I wanted the Mario Kart bundle. I'm gonna pre-order Donkey Kong Bonanza, and obviously that doesn't come out till July. And then from there, everything was, I guess, smooth sailing. Yeah, so it went pretty well on my end.
Yeah, and so it sounds like how many Switches were there total there at your store again?
So there was, I want to say 65. But like I
Okay.
said, when they put the stuff on the window, they said 19 and 43. Like I said, three employees, I assume, pre-ordered them as
So
well.
basically, the point though is that everyone in line, it sounded like they all got a Switch too, right? If you were in line by opening, they probably got one, right?
Yeah, like I said, my GameStop had around 60 people by the time I left. So yeah, just about I think everyone got them. But there were still, it seemed like people were still coming
Showing up,
as
right?
yeah, as there was even someone that came for Pokemon cards, and they were like, "What are you guys in line for?" We're like, "The Switch," and the guy was like, "Wait, can I just go in?" And then we're like, "I don't think so. I think this is the line for everything right now." So he walked in, and they said, "No, you have to wait in the entire line, even if you're here for something else."
That's funny. Yeah. Nope. Sorry. You gotta wait at the back of the line for your Pokemon
Yeah.
cards. To scallop your Pokemon cards, I should say. We got a super chat from Onyx real quick. Onyx says GameStop ended up being the best one to deal with online or in person. Usually I avoid them, but thankfully I got mine pre-ordered in store, ninth in line. That's awesome. Good for you. And I think I'm curious to see, chat, if that was our general experience, because for me, I think in person was the best way to go about it too. I mean, granted, I got in pretty easily through Walmart, but the others were a complete mess. Best Buy and GameStop, or I'm sorry, Best Buy and Target, major issues with them. But going in person, like I showed up about 2.5 hours early, and there's only 3 or 4 people ahead of me. Which, by the way, they all recognized me basically, which is kind of fun. So I was chatting with them the entire time, and that was fun too. But even by the time the store opening, so they only posted the sheet in the window of how many units they had half an hour before opening. Which thanks guys, but they had I think my store might be a lower traffic store, but my store only had 10 base units and 25 bundles with Mario Kart
Oh
World.
wow.
And also, I pre-ordered the second. They were only on two pre-orders of the cameras, and I got the last one. I felt bad for the guy next to me who also wanted a camera. In any case, but my store only had, by the time of opening, maybe 20 people in the line. So basically, everyone who wanted to Switch 2, if you were there by opening, you got one. And that seems to be the case for most people. I'm curious to hear if that's also been the case in our chat. So if you were at a store chat, like, did you have any trouble getting a Switch 2? I did a poll also on our GameXplain Twitter asking if you pre-ordered the Switch 2 in person, how was your experience? And overall, 30% almost say it was pretty chill for them. They got one, it was pretty chill. Another 30% also got one, but saying it was a little stressful for them. But then only 16% failed if you went in person, compared to the overall experience, which includes in person and online. Meaning online's really weighing this down. Where for 40% 40% sorry 47% it was a good experience. For 33%, it was a bad experience, and then 20% said they had no interest at all. So clearly, it seemed like if you went in person, that was generally the smoother experience.
Yeah, I think that was the way to go, was to do it in person. Even if, like I said, I showed up way early, but I expect my GameStop to be pretty busy. Like I said, by the time I left, there were 60 people there.
Right.
I mean, what was the case for you, Andre? Like, how many people were there by the time you left, or even when you were there
I think
in
maybe
person?
by the time I left, it's probably maybe 25. If it went, I
Okay.
didn't fully check if it went around the corner by that point, but it seemed like it was kind of a low-key-ish event. One guy in my line, he had been there since 8 p.m. last night, and there was no reason. Poor guy, he's like, I felt so lonely out here because there was no one else, no one here. No one showed up until like 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. this morning, so he was by himself the entire time, so I felt a little bad for him. But yeah, so I think so. It's weird. Like this is a weird situation where it's kind of like it's both messy. I think the online experience was basically messy for a lot of people, right? Even though I got through pretty easily, it was still stressful for that time. But online, I'm sorry, in person, remarkably chill. I think it actually went really smoothly. And I don't know if that could have gone even better. Like I feel like. Let me take. I don't know if you're looking at the chat right now, Nick.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Yeah, what are people saying right now? Are people saying it was smooth in person, or I know one person did? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to take a look. I don't know if anyone. Someone said, "Oh, here we go." From Toady said, "Just came back from GameStop, very easy."
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was my experience too. I thought it was pretty easy. Like I wish they had maybe like another worker at our place because, like I said, our place was packed. So I don't know if they did it for yours, Andre, or anyone in chat, but they went around and gave stickers to everyone. Like they talked to everyone in line,
Oh
and they said,
wow,
"Hey, which one are you going to pre-order? Because we only have X amount." And
that's
then you would tell them,
awesome.
"Hey, yeah, I'm here to pre-order the Mario Kart one." They would give you a separate sticker for the Mario Kart one versus the console only.
My store is not nearly that together. As I said, they put the sign up half an hour before. But otherwise, like I think they had enough. Like I think they had enough of. I already forgot how many bundles. I think they had enough of even the bundles to account for anyone who even wanted that. So they will only run into trouble if more people are buying the base unit, which I know at least the person on the front of the line, in our case, are actually buying just the base unit because they wanted the physical Mario Kart world. So I can, it kind of does make sense as to why Nintendo provided both for that. Mike Burgess says in the chat, GameStop in person for me was pretty easy. 45 total consoles showed up in an hour early, and I was 10th in line. I think most were able to get one. Yeah, like I went there early in the morning just to make sure. Like, am I late? Do I need to be here super early to secure that in-person pickup? And this was just the 1-2 dudes there at that point. I'm like, wow, all right, I'll come back later, and by that point I showed up like an hour later. I was still only 4th in line, and really happy with that.
Yeah, like I said, my experience. I knew my GameStop was going to go busy or be busy because I would always pre-order stuff from GameStop in the past, or even like the Toys R Us that was around the corner for me. Like I would go for Amiibos, and that was pretty chaotic. Which I guess we'll
Right.
touch up on Amiibos in a second because we have some super chats right now.
Yeah, I was going to read the super chats real quick. So Cryptic, so thanks to all the super chats, by the way. Cryptic says, Target never accepted my address and payment info and have errors. Walmart/Best Buy, even though I was in line, I was waiting 4 or 5 minutes, plus able to snag Mario Kart bundle. So I'm glad you were able to get through it eventually. Yeah, Target was a complete mess for me. And I want to go back to the online stuff in a moment here. Bowser Jr. says, just got back from GameStop, used trading card, and put $309 on base console and $5 on physical Mario Kart World. Awesome.
Nice.
Glad you were able to get that, Bowser Jr. So, let's see, I'm looking at anyone else here real quick, just for general impressions. Jim says their GameStop had 61 consoles, 41 bundles. Wow, that must be a more trafficked GameStop. Like, it seems like, I will say, even overall, like, I remember stores often only getting, like 10 or a dozen consoles. So, like, even at my lower traffic store, I assume, they still had 3 times that, Like, it really seemed like if you went in person, if you were there by opening, you are pretty much guaranteed to have a Switch 2. Chat, let me know if I'm wrong. If there's any exceptions to this, let me know. Did anyone have any trouble buying it in person? But the thing is, the online experience last night was way more stressful. I had like 3 separate windows open on 3 different websites, and I got through on one of them pretty easily, but I shouldn't have had to do that. I shouldn't have to go have 3 different windows open, and even then, everyone had different issues, like some people had no issues at Target, whereas it was throwing up errors for me constantly. I could not get through, and that was really freaking stressful, even after getting through. Like, it's just that whole experience was left me kind of rattled.
Yeah, it was all over the place last night. Like my girlfriend was trying on multiple websites. She could not get through. My brother was trying as well. and he was flying. So the thing is, like, he was trying to get a verification code from Walmart, but he couldn't get text while he was flying, so he wasn't able to get it. So that's why I was able to get two from Walmart last night, and then actually I was able to get two from GameStop this morning. But yeah, online was just a complete mess.
It was. The Vidiots wanted to send a super chat. Appreciate the Vidiots. They say YouTube won't let me send a super chat for some reason, but trying to say in person at GameStop was super smooth. Yeah, who knew? Who would have guessed GameStop of all the companies would be the ones that come through for us? Like, which is actually awesome. I mean, it's not awesome that it led to this. It was nice though, knowing that they were a backup option after the complete mess that the online orders were for many people. It was nice having GameStop being there, and they weren't even taking online pre-orders until 11 a.m. either this morning Eastern. And I didn't even bother with that. I just went in person, and again, super smooth. They were only two people at a time in my store as well. But in this day and age, should we have to go in person to make this happen? Like, the online's like, why were these stores more prepared for this? They should have known that there was going to be immense demand for one of the most successful game consoles of all time that's still selling considerably well. Why weren't they better prepared for the server traffic? But to their credit, I think Walmart, of the three, was the best in my experience. And it seemed to be, going by the chat last night we had, who did the whole live stream, that seemed to be the better option for most people too. Not everyone, it sounded like, because it may depend where you were, which servers you were getting onto, and even which country you're in, of course. I think because there was only one outlet doing it in Canada. Was it Walmart only in Canada, I think?
It was Walmart only in Canada, I believe, yeah. And which is crazy because, if you look at the list, my go-to would have been Best Buy. But Best Buy, I felt like, was the worst option, right? And then next would be Target, and then GameStop, then Walmart. It felt like completely the opposite yesterday, where Walmart had everything going, but Target and Best Buy dropped the ball. And then GameStop today it knocked it out of the park, just especially if you were in person pre-ordering it. But yeah, chat, let us know if you were able to pre-order it online at GameStop, because I still have to check up on what my friends have been saying. I think it was a little messy pre-ordering it online through GameStop. But like I said, smooth in person.
Yeah, which has been really nice. Especially after, I'm one who lived through launches and past periods, before the online era, and those could be a mess. So maybe the online helped in the load, for the in-store pickup. But it was nice having that, having that as a backup option, as I said. And I mentioned how, we mentioned how Canada only had really Walmart, and there was a comment on one of my tweets this morning from Tomcat saying it was a total poop show in Canada for pre-orders. So I poor Canada, getting the short end of the stick here. Let's see here. Looking at
we have a comment from Nova. This was earlier. Is Walmart still guaranteeing a June 5th delivery? Has there been any update to that? Have you seen it all? Because I know on the website last night it said, 9 a.m. on June 5th? They were guaranteeing.
Yeah, but 9 a.m. on June 5th.
Or something? Yeah.
If that's changed, I don't know if it has, but I haven't received any emails myself saying my order's been delayed or anything. I know a couple people had their orders canceled, which is also scary. But I haven't heard anything more about the pre-orders. Some more super chats real quick. Radbridge says my debit card no work no more after that purchase. Oh no, but at least it worked. That's one of the scariest things about ordering online is sometimes your credit card throws up as a fraud thing. You have to approve it, and that might screw up your order too. I ran into that issue on Walmart, I think, or. Yeah, I think it was Walmart, right? Where I had to, text my bank back, yes, that was a legitimate purchase. Shall Celeste says with a super chat, Walmart saved the night for me. Target was a mess. Yeah, Walmart came in clutch last night, I gotta say. The Vidiots, they got a super chat through. They say, trying again, one guy in our GameStop line had donuts for everyone. That's awesome. That's really cool. What a good guy, right? I'm glad you got those donuts, Vidiots. And then Krakow298 says with a super chat, yes, they still guarantee it. So Walmart is still guaranteeing that delivery, apparently, which is awesome. Armen, though, says GameStop app and website did not work for me at all. Which, right, we have, the apps as well. And for some people, that was working for them. Target, for me, I think I finally did get through the Best Buy app, maybe. But Target, that app was throwing up errors, the same errors I was getting on the website. Or maybe different errors, but in the same process,
Yeah, I was getting a confirmation for address error on my Target app, which was a pain in the butt. Yeah. But we have another comment here from Gambit saying, my GameStop got 85 units. By the time I left, 13th in line, there were 40 plus people in line. If you're 1 and 1, you got one.
That's actually awesome. That seems to be the consistent experience. If you wanted to switch to pre-order and you were there by opening, it sounded like you were going to get one. That's actually awesome. And and it makes me actually, it does make me wonder two things. Like, is it Nintendo just that adequately prepared? Like, was GameStop just given an adequate amount of units, or is it that demand actually isn't going to be super insane like it was like in the Wii era? And that's not necessarily a bad. I mean, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing for us consumers for sure.
Yeah.
But that is to say, if you weren't there at opening though, you may run into issues now, right? You may really have to go out of your way to look at some lower traffic GameStops. Kenny does say though, one of their friends got an email saying their Walmart pre-order is going to be delayed. So that could be a potential downside for some of these pre-orders that happened online.
Yeah, that's why GameStop, like, besides it being smooth, I have faith in them that they're going to have it on release night at the midnight launch. I even had a friend text me saying that his GameStop might be doing it at like 9 p.m. that night because they don't want to be there till like 2 a.m. So you might be able to even get it like earlier. And this is on the East Coast, not the West Coast.
Right. Oh, this isn't good. Mutator says my GameStop had 80, but scalped 40 of them for themselves. Can they even do that? Like, how do you know? That's really bad that that's happening.
Maybe they went the day before, like I did. They told them the numbers, but then they put the sign on the door because, like I said, they said 20 and 45 in my GameStop, but it was 19 and 43. That would be crazy if that was the case.
Could this be redistributed? Maybe. Like, are we sure this is like something nefarious here?
Yeah, like maybe they were trying to take it to other GameStops that didn't get too many numbers.
Robert Newton in the chat, channel member, says, "Yo, I have about 10 minutes until my next work meeting. LOL. Well, I hope you enjoy this." We got a super chat from Azir Pip. Thank you, Azir. It says, "I went to my local GameStop at 7:30 a.m. I was first in line. The doors opened. I got my pre-order and was in and out in 1 minute. It was smooth." That seems to be the common experience. Like, if you were there at a reasonable hour, you are totally fine. I mean, even at opening, and GameStop's open late. They weren't even open until 11 a.m. here. I think, was that the case for you too, Nick? Or
yeah, my GameStop was open at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then I think there was one not too far from me that was opening at noon, which I didn't even bother to check because, like I said, I was able to secure 2 at my GameStop. My friend was able to pre-order another one for me, and then I pre-ordered one for myself. So yeah, GameStop smooth. Happy to go with that in person.
Right. We have a comment here on Twitter from Jack Attack. Says, I won. I have a Switch 2 pre-order from Target. I actually couldn't even sleep, LOL. I was so happy right now and totally deserved the snag one. Going to my GameStop at 8 a.m. now, though, as well. So it sounds like if their experience is similar to ours or everyone else's, they probably got that GameStop pre-order too. And it sounds like, Nick, did your store confirm that they're opening up at midnight for you, or?
Yeah, my store, I mean, given how big the pre-order is and that they've done midnight launches in the past, yeah, they said that they're going to do it. My hope is that they do it like what my friend said, that they're doing it at 9 p.m. and not midnight, especially if people are trying to transfer their save data, which I asked them and they're like, there's only going to be 2 of us working and we're just going to tell people to do the cloud, which, like I said, I think there's some games that you're not going to be able to transfer your save data over the cloud, like Animal Crossing.
Right.
So I hope that's not the case. And yeah, like I said, I hope they're open a little bit earlier for us.
I missed a super chat from Bowser Jr. I'm sorry, Bowser Jr. Thank you for the follow-up reminding me of it. I really apologize for that. They say some people in front of me were actually kind enough to let this one dude cut in front because he had to go to work. That is ridiculously nice, considering that could have screwed over someone potentially. But based on what we're seeing so far, it sounds like, again, if you were in line by opening, you probably got one. So you probably didn't screw over anyone, but that was very nice of them regardless. Because the checkout process does take a while sometimes. I was actually pretty quick, but there was one guy that probably took 15 minutes in there, and I don't know, what all was involved with that.
Wait, Andre, did you get a sheet like me? Did you get one of these?
I didn't get one, but they had them there you could look at. So yeah, I guess I could look at it when I was in the store. So
yeah, they were giving this to everyone in line, the sheet.
That would have been so nice. That would help sped things up too. Anyways, getting back to the opening time real quick. I have potentially bad news for you, Nick, because my store, they weren't 100% sure whether they're opening, around midnight or not, but it sounds like they were, but more specifically 11 p.m., which would be midnight your time, which makes me think that everyone's opening up at midnight Eastern time, right? So that's what I'm kind of thinking may be happening.
Yeah, I hope it's a little earlier than that, but just being on the East Coast, yeah, like they have to oblige by, it's actually still the 5th at that time.
Which would be 9 p.m. for the West Coast, so maybe that's...
for the West Coast.
Yeah. Shadows lost another super chat. Thank you, Shadows. I think another one. Either way, thank you. Says, any idea why Amazon is not doing pre-orders? Nintendo and Amazon, they got beef. I don't know what their deal is. It is insane, though. Let me tell you, it is insane that the biggest retailer in the world, you can't order the number one, the most hot console for. Like, if I were Amazon, I would figure this out because, like, it honestly, it's helping the competitors, which actually,
it is.
For me, I think this is actually, I think consumers in general, it's a good thing because screw Amazon. They have too much power. This is actually good good for everyone. But if I were Amazon, I'd be worried because I honestly don't shop anywhere else but Amazon. It's just so easy. It's just so convenient.
Yep.
But now that I've had, experiences, not all positive, but at these other retailers, like, well, maybe I'll look at them next time. They had it, and again, it was a little rough, for them. And Amazon probably would have been smoother had they had it, but they didn't, and so it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter that their experience may have been better. They didn't have experience at all. So.
Yeah, like I rarely shop at Walmart, but given last night my experience with it, it wasn't bad. Like I thought it was actually better than I expected.
No, honestly, this was a great advertisement for Walmart. It seems like a lot of people had a good Walmart experience, which is shocking to hear about, And Walmart was on point. So, hey, Steven, good seeing you in the chat, a channel member. Good having you here.
We have a comment from Coach Rhino 3. Does GameStop still do $5 down for pre-orders in person? So they do it depending on the price of the product that you're pre-ordering. Like for the Switch 2, it was a $50 deposit that you had to put down. That was the minimum. But you could pay it off if you want. Games, like I pre-ordered Donkey Kong Bonanza. I just put $5 on that. But yeah, if you're looking to pre-order the console, you have to put down $50 at the minimum.
Which is actually another nice thing, because it sounds like some people are being billed instantly for the online pre-orders. I still haven't looked if I have or not. It's going to be a huge credit card bill if I was, Jesus. And it was actually kind of nice going to GameStop, only having to put $50 down for the console, plus another $5 in my case for the Switch 2 camera. Obviously I'll be paying the balance of that once I pick it up, but still nice having the option that you only have to put down that amount rather than paying it in full up front. Dr. Makalot says you all crash a GameSpot website. Yeah, I don't know what the GameSpot website situation was about. It sounds like that may not have been quite as good as going in person. But yeah, in person, it sounds. I have not. Here's a question, chat. Did anyone have a bad experience pre-ordering a GameSpot in person? That's what I want to hear about. Did anyone have a bad experience? I may have missed some already. If there were. But it sounds like Here's a comment from no name bro. I went to my GameStop in person. There were like 20 or so people and they had 30-ish consoles total. So everyone got one. I got to talk with some people about Nintendo and gaming and stuff. Yeah, it was a fun social time. I was chatting with them the entire time. Was that the case for you too, Nick? Or were you chatting?
Yeah, I actually brought a speaker. I brought some chairs, and everyone was pretty quiet when I showed up. But I started talking. I was like, "Hey, like, who's excited for the Switch? Are you guys excited?" Yeah, I started talking with a lot of people that were in front of me, and everyone was pretty happy about it. So yeah, my experience with everyone waiting in line was pretty friendly.
Rick says it was great. Oh, Ryan in the chat from Brain Scratch Comms. Good seeing you here, Ryan. They say no pleasantly surprised at how good it went. LOL. Oh, did I say GameSpot? Derp. I used to work there.
You said GameSpot. Yeah, you did.
I should know better. I used to work at GameSpot, so I should know better. Cryptic with a super chat says, was there a reason Best Buy / Walmart didn't have in-store pre-orders after GameStop's success? Maybe next gen Best Buy / Walmart will allow camping out. Yeah, it's a good one. But I had someone I know went to go check in person at Best Buy, and they weren't doing in-store pre-orders. So I don't know the reason.
I mean, maybe the reason, because I know they've been slimming down on their physical, not only games collection, but just their physical media in general. So maybe that's why they just wanted to allocate it all online. Because like every time I go into Best Buy, it's the Switch section in the video game section gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
Right.
Like the last time I went, they maybe had like 20 Switch games, and like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, they might have had like 50 to 100 Switch games. Like there's basically nothing at my Best Buy.
Jeez, that's wild. Yeah. Andre, here's a couple interesting comments about GameSpot or GameStop.
GameStop.
It was a long night, guys. I barely slept. Andre BX says, my GameStop required you to have a pro membership. That actually kind of stinks. I had to sign up for something, but I didn't pay anything for it. Is that what I signed up for then? They didn't make me an account or something.
No, my GameStop was asking if I wanted to renew my pro membership. I said no.
Okay,
but it was not a requirement at my GameStop.
They tried to sign me up for something, or they offered me the opportunity. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So I don't think so. That wasn't a requirement on my store either. But then we have someone here who says, Cameron says, there were about 100 people in my line and they ran out at 50.
Jeez.
So that sucks. Okay, that is one GameStop LA said that if you were there at opening, you weren't guaranteed to have a Switch too. Mega Nerd with a super chat. Thank you, Mega Nerd says, East Coast Massachusetts here and got back from GameStop. It went smoothly. 32 systems total. Also, those Street Fighter Amiibo cards are exclusive to GameStop. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Oh, yeah. So speaking of Amiibos and accessory, Andre, did they offer you any Amiibos or anything else outside of the camera?
Yeah, they had they had the same sheet there that you had. So with all the games,
ours had a separate one. Like they were going around asking if you wanted to pre-order any Amiibos. Our store got barely any. I think total there might have been like 20 out of the 7 new Amiibos. Like they really did not get much. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even ask about that, so I'm not even sure. That's a good one though. But yeah, I'm over amiibos. I'm like, I'm not
Yeah.
bothering this time. Especially at $40, right? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy.
Robert, thanks for hanging out with us. Got another super chat from the Vidiots. Thank you. Says testing ... It's working, Vidiots. Your super chats are working. I hope you. I read your first one too, so hopefully you saw that. So, yeah, now it works. That's right, the Vidiots. All right, let's see here. Zarek says, I had to tell the manager that some old lady cut in front of the 60 plus people after the store opened. He kicked her out. Yes! Screw cutters! I mean, I think, granted, I think there are rare occasions where it's totally accidental, but even still, you gotta get back to the back of the line, right? So that's awesome, that happened. Yeah, people who purposefully cut are the worst. Yeah.
Like the one guy at our GameStop was trying to go in for Pokemon cards, and I told him, I was like, "Yeah, you can go in and see, but they're probably gonna make you go in the back of the line," and that's what they did. They're like, "Hey, this line's for every customer right now. Unfortunately, you have to wait all the way in the back for any product that you're looking to purchase now."
Right. Scott says, did anyone buy the camera? Chad, did you buy the camera? Nick, you bought it, right? Or
No, the only thing
you
I
didn't?
got was just the console. Yeah, I didn't get
Okay.
any accessories or anything yet because I think you can still use third-party cameras on it. Like, I don't think you need the Switch 2 camera. I could be wrong.
I will be shocked, but maybe. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it would make sense because they're all cameras, but
It's a Nintendo thing. It's
yeah.
like, again, like, wouldn't be shocked if they're like, no, you have to use this one.
Rare Sun, the official Nintendo camera is not 480p. I think it is 1080p, isn't it? The official camera. It's only the Piranha Plant one that's 480p.
Is the Piranha Plant one made by?
Hori,
Is that like a Hori?
Hori,
Yeah.
Sounds like no people. A lot of people are not getting the cameras, so I got it, but I thought it'd be fun for videos, and I do think it's some neat implementation. But oh, are we still connected? Yeah, we're still good, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I still see chat here.
Perfect, good. Looking up here, any other comments? Chat, let us know if you have any other stories from your pre-order experience. Like, how do we? Let me run a poll here. Like,
Yeah.
What should we asked the polls last night? How was it overall? Should I just ask like how was your pre-order experience?
Yeah, I'd say go with that. Make it simple. How was your pre-order experience at GameStop?
Oh, at GameStop. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
let's do GameStop. Yeah,
GameStop, man. All right.
at GameSpot.
Great. Okay. Bad. All right, chat. If you bought in person at GameStop, vote in our poll, please. And let me add a other option just for those who want to vote anyway and didn't actually order there or something. Teal Opal, thank you, Teal Opal. The super chat says, my GameStop is in a mall and opens at 10 a.m., so I was able to wait inside starting at like 6. Line was only a dozen or so people behind me. Went smooth. That is the overwhelming experience at GameStop. It really does seem like the most stress-free way, shockingly, was going to GameStop and skipping the whole online pre-order thing. But even though a lot of people got through, even during our stream last night, Nick, it was stressful. Even for us, it was stressful, right?
It was. We were going back and forth. Like, did you get it? Are you here? Were you looking at? Like, it was all over the place last night.
It really was, man. That was crazy. So, Marion says there were no people on my GameStop, Andre. What? Really? It was just you? So you got your pre-order then, right? Ben with a super chat. Thank you, Ben. Says, I snagged the Mario Kart World bundle and the Pro Controller. Which games are you most excited for? For me, it's Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, or Mario Odyssey Going Ape Edition, as I call it. I love it. Exact same too for me. Honestly, those are the only two things I really care about right now. Nick?
Yeah, I'm excited for those two. I can't wait for Kirby Air Riders, and then also the new Hyrule Warriors game. So like everything they announced that is coming out this year, besides Drag X Drive and Welcome Tour, I'm excited about. But again, like I have to see those games in person, and Welcome Tour we can just watch online. Like that should have just been included with the console. I'm so shocked that it's $10.
That came up
crazy.
Actually, to that point, Scott says nothing beats old-fashioned interaction. Yes, that topic came up while I was discussing with the people at the front of the line with me there, and yeah, it's like that everyone agreed like that should be a pack-in. It just seems silly to sell it separately, especially given all the other bad messaging around the Switch 2 price points. There was another comment here I wanted to read. What was it? Someone was in line. Oh, God, where was it? It was a good comment, darn it. They were in line right now. Here we go.
Someone's in line watching us?
Yeah, Beeping Nerd is in line. They say, waiting outside my GameStop, we have a total of 70 consoles. So it sounds like you're in good spot, right? Do you know, like, is everyone going to get one, Beeping Nerd? Or do you know what that situation is like?
Yeah, chat, let us know if your GameStop is actually giving tickets. Like I said, at my GameStop, they were giving out tickets to make sure that people just weren't waiting in line and weren't guaranteed anything. Andre, you said you didn't have any tickets at your GameStop, right?
Correct. They did not do a ticket system on mine. Maybe because they saw the line was like not
no one
at
was
that
there.
point. Yeah. Let's see here. Sergio says, how do you think Nintendo will respond to the pre-order results and high demand for the June 5th launch date? I don't think anything changes right now. Like, I think
Yeah.
they've accounted for everything that they've been producing. So I mean, I'm sure they may reallocate things in the future. For right now, though, I don't think it's going to change anything. Taylor Plays with a super chat. Thank you. Says Switch 2 Mario Kart bundle pre-order acquired at my local GameStop as of almost 20 minutes ago. Heck yeah! Line is not long for me at all. Got the last one. Wow! All right,
Nice.
congrats.
That is.
Man, you cut that close, but I'm glad you made it. So again, even being last, they made it through relatively pain-free. It sounds like so. Man, that's been so. It honestly seems like this was a way to go. So, Chad, now I want to hear about. So it seems like GameStop was overall a success story for almost everyone. But Chad, for those of you who are, I want to hear from people who have not been able to get pre-order yet. Chad, tell if you're not pre-ordered. I want to hear your story. What happened? Are you giving up hope? Are you still trying to get one? Nick, if you could keep an eye out for those comments, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks while I read the super chat here. Triforce Guru with the super chat, thank you, says, I got up this morning 6 a.m. and managed to stand second in line at GameStop. I met some great people and talked about GameCube games. Yes, GameCube came up at our conversations too. That's awesome. Thank you for the super chat. Another one here. Oh wait, no, that is it for now. So, anyways, did you see any?
Yeah, we got one from Cameron right here. My experience was crazy. I was trying on Target and Best Buy, was stuck in the Target cart for an hour, and had my card decline 2 times until I finally got it. Very, very stressful, but a decent experience.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean that's shocking that you were able to get through with the Target one, because I had the Target the bundle in my car at Target, and I just kept getting an error message over and over again.
It was removed. Yeah, they removed it from my car at some point, and it was just gone. It sucked. Okay, another super chat here from Boolean. Thank you, Boolean. Says, I got my Switch 2 Mario Kart World bundle for my friend through GameStop. The app opened pre-orders 30 minutes early and was able to check out before they crashed. All right, well, good. I'm glad you got it early. I mean, I had no idea they were going to open early. That could be frustrating for people who are waiting, maybe. But glad you had a good experience. And then also we had a follow-up from Beeping Nerd, who, as you might remember, they had a total of 70 consoles at their GameStop. They say the line was small, but we had grown massively within the last hour. There are 54 people online, 30 Mario Kart bundles, 40 regular. Again, another success story. If you wanted a Switch 2, you could get one at GameStop. So amazing. Have you seen any other comments here? Any other stories, Nick, that stood out to you?
Well, I have a question actually to us. Rare Sun says, will you be using Piranha Plant as your new live stream camera?
Oh my god, I might have to. You know what's funny? I'm going to the Dallas event tomorrow for the Switch 2. I want to bring my Game Boy camera and take pictures of it. Wouldn't that be fun, I thought? So, Vidge says, Target canceled their pre-order after I successfully purchased one from the website. Reason on cancel's technical issue. That sucks. That sucks so much. Like, that's the worst thing about the online is, like, even when you get the pre-order, you don't even feel, like, secure in it, you know? Like, they could pull it back at any moment.
Andre, I do have something that they were saying at my GameStop. They were going and talking to everyone, like I said, giving these out, giving the tickets and whatnot. And they also said to us, if the tariffs do come into effect and they do change the price of the Switch 2, your prices won't change, like the ones that we did for pre-orders. At least that's my GameStop. Like, I don't know if it's going to be all of them. I don't know if it's going to be all stores. I hopefully that's the case. I mean, hopefully it doesn't go into effect. But yeah, that's what they were telling us.
That's actually reassuring to hear. Yeah, it's good to have that insurance policy, right?
Yeah,
actually buying their insurance policy. Techno Mario says they brute forced it through Target. Lockdown didn't get canceled. Good for you. Let's see here. There was another comment I wanted to read. Oh, Hondo says Target and Walmart were my success. We got 2 at Target. Yes, excellent. Good. Jess says they just pre-ordered theirs. GameStop easy. 3rd in line. 76 total available. Bought the base console and physical Mario Kart World separate. Chat, here's a message right now. It may not be too late. If you want to get pre-order, get your butt over to GameStop right now. They honestly just opened in all regions. Actually, they're still just opening on the West Coast. This is your time. I mean, call them up first. See if they have any left. But yeah, it sounds like they are the best way to go right now. So if you have not gotten pre-order yet, check out your local GameStops and call up multiple of them if you need to. So, yeah.
Anyone in chat, let us know if you checked out any other stores like Target, Best Buy, or Walmart, like in person, to see if they had anything like that. Because we did everything online besides GameStop. We did that in person. So, like, if you have a Target close to a Walmart or Best Buy or GameStop, see if those are taking any pre-orders in line. Because, like, there's like in stores, there's so many weird things. But like, I think someone said they were taking pre-orders a half hour early on the GameStop app or something like that.
Right.
So maybe some retailers are doing in store. Like I said, I'm not sure, but if there's one close to you, check it out if you have the time. Like, why not?
Speaking of GameStop, so let's check in with our poll results. So,
Yeah.
how was your pre-order at GameStop? 38% of people say great, 11% say it was okay, and 19% were bad. So it sounds like not. Although I didn't specify in person, I'm an idiot. So I'm assuming a lot of those are the online portion, but I can't say that for sure. But it sounds like, going by the anecdotes we've been receiving from people, in person it was pretty smooth. I'm gonna end that poll. We got super chat from Jay Wesby. Thank you. It says there was 50 of us at GameStop and we all managed to get a pre-order. That's
Nice.
awesome. I'm so happy for you. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, and there was someone here. There was another nice comment we got here from Scott Dracula. Thank you, Scott. They say, you dudes got me through the struggle last night. I'm honestly happy. I mean, I'm not happy here about the struggle, but I'm happy we're able to help you there. It helped us too, honestly. I think Nick, just being able to vent to, the audience and keep people up to date on what was happening. I think that was, it helped me. I think that was fun, and I think having that communal, it was almost like a communal experience, like waiting outside GameStop in person this morning. GameStop in person this morning, right? So
yeah, it's like we were running to store at points. It's like, oh, did you check this? Oh, everyone's over here. Like, go over here. Check Walmart out. Go, 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 go.
And
like,
then,
we were all over the place.
Especially when we discovered the hack of like refreshing your hung timer on Walmart or on Walmart. Was it?
Walmart.
Yeah. And actually I should mention that was another potential issue for people. We found out a workaround for it, and I think that helped some others as well, thankfully. But if you didn't know that workaround, you could have gone screwed by it. Where refreshing your line timer may not, you may have not realized it, and you were just stuck in purgatory, basically. So
I was just thinking with Best Buy taking forever, we were having issues before midnight at Best Buy. Do you remember that? Like, we were having issues putting in our card information. Like, we clicked on it and it's just like, oh, they just give us an error. So maybe that was the reason for the delay, like the 20, 30-minute delay on their end.
That's a good one. Yeah, we were trying to do the smart thing, we thought, and get our shipping information and credit cards on there, and they weren't taking it. The Best Buy kept throwing errors left and right, and yeah, it continued to be the case. Like, I don't think either of us ever got through on Best Buy, did we? Or
no, did not get through on Best Buy.
I'll be honest, I've almost lost track of where my pre-orders are at now. But no, I think I didn't get through on Best Buy. I'm remembering now at all. So Walmart was the one that saved my butt for online, and GameStop in person again. So again, who would have thought Walmart and GameStop, the absolute winners here for pre-orders, right?
Yeah, that would be my complete opposite bet. Like, if I placed the bet on it, I would have told everyone, go to Target, go to Best Buy. Those are the ones to go to, not Walmart or GameStop. And it's a complete opposite.
It really was. That's hilarious. Big Gaming says, it's all good. GameXplain Target failed me. Sorry to hear that. But my brother and his wife were able to secure one from Walmart and Best Buy. My sister-in-law sold me her pre-order this morning. That's awesome. And I have to say, so, Nick, taken all together, and maybe I'm off base, chat. Let me know, because I know everyone had a different experience. I can only go by what I've heard and what I experienced myself, which was obviously still messy online. I think, though, and chat, let me know if I'm off base. Maybe I'll do a poll on this. Is Andre wrong?
Yeah.
I think overall, compared to past console launches, it feels better overall. Maybe I'm wrong. It feels like this is better than it has been for some others in the past. Am I off base, Nick, or chat?
I don't know. It's like weird to say, because when the Switch 1 was coming out, I didn't have any issues pre-ordering it from Best Buy. Again, like, we were coming off the Wii U, so like, I think if you wanted one, you were going to get one. Kind of like this situation. I remember pre-ordering the PS5, and I feel like it sold out instantly. But again, like, this was during COVID, this was during like lockdown, so like, just everyone was on the heels or just trying to get like the next new thing for electronics, because we couldn't really go outside and do anything. So I think that's why that was kind of like in a high demand. But this one, I feel like, yeah, it was somewhat smooth, especially going in person at GameStop. And like we said, who would have thought that GameStop in person would have been like the go-to or the best option for this?
Yeah, I certainly would not have. Like, my assumption would be that GameStop would have had, limited quantities of units, less than they ended up having, and that the line would be longer than it was. And luckily neither of those were the case. So it ended up being the perfect situation. So, sorry, I'm doing my poll right now.
HD Gamer says definitely less insane than the PS5 launch. Yeah, like I said, I remember PS5 being pretty stressful and it selling out within like a few minutes. And I think it was during the day too. Like, chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but it might have been during or right after the presentation. Pre-orders might have gone live for PS5. This was back in 2020. Maybe in like August or something like that. It was a few months before the actual release. But yeah, I remember PS5 not going so easy.
So I ran a poll. We'll see what the results are in a couple minutes here. Taylor plays with the super chat. Thank you, Taylor. Says, some people at the GameStop I pre-ordered at were in line since 8 a.m., some even 6 a.m. if I'm not mistaken. I mean, that's honestly, in the grand scheme of console launches, not that bad. And I assume that if that store was like others, it probably didn't even fill up completely before opening. Like I said, there was a guy who showed up at my store last night at 8 p.m. and the poor guy was all alone and felt lonely. He thought there'd be a line there. There wasn't until it's 7 a.m. this morning when people started finally lining up. And even then, it wasn't until really the final 90 minutes of the store opening that really started getting more people online. Even then, I'm pretty sure they had enough units to cover everyone. So
Yeah, and it's interesting to see chat saying like how much each of their stores got, because like I thought my store was a lot, but people were like, "Oh no, my GameStop got like 80 units in." I'm like, "Oh my God, that's a lot."
it is a lot. Nick, I know you are kind of on a kind of time crunch today. How are you doing right now? Do you have a few more minutes? Do you need to go?
I'm good for a few more minutes. Yeah.
Okay, awesome, good. I might stick on for a little bit longer chat if Nick leaves early, but we got super chat here. No, I think I read that one. Okay. Let's look at the poll chat. So I asked, were Switch 2 pre-orders better or worse than other systems for you? So far, over half people are saying it was better. 54%, 53, 54 are saying it was better. Only 14% of people said worse.
Wow.
32% not sure. That's actually shockingly good.
And it really is.
Obviously not perfect. It was, kind of messy at points, especially last night. I know not everyone has one, and I feel bad for those people right now. But honestly, in the grand scheme of things, that's actually pretty good. I would say. I'm pointing to the poll as if you guys can see where the poll is. I don't know where it is on screen. Is it like down there? I don't know where things are right now on YouTube chat. But that's actually really good to see. And my light just went full brightness for some reason. It's trying to
find the fly right now.
yeah, exactly, from last night, the ongoing saga. Switch Stop says it's a complete mess, lol. So that's fair. Again, everyone's gonna have a different experience. We ourselves experienced it being messy last night, but we did end up getting through. It required perseverance though, and luck as well. So.
And planning on top of that, like if you were just hoping to like come out of work or just say, hey, I'm gonna pre-order it like on Friday this week or something like that. Unfortunately, I don't think you're gonna have any luck with that. I think you had to be on it either last night or check your local GameStop as it opens today.
Right. Matt says the Switch 2 is the first console I've ever pre-ordered and went pretty good. I mean, standing outside GameStop from 9 to 12 sucks, but wasn't that bad. Yeah, and especially like with the common theme seems to be like, with the community of like-minded people there, like the time went by pretty quick because like a lot of people were conversing with them, right? I mentioned earlier. Sorry, go ahead, Nick.
I was gonna say I was there with friends and we were just talking Monster Hunter and Pokemon and just Switch 2 stuff. Like it flew by. Like it seems like a long time, but no, it's gonna fly by when you're talking with people.
It really does. And I mentioned too, like I wasn't expecting to be recognized, but everyone who was in front of me recognized me. Like but you sound like the guy from GameXplain. I'm like, that's because I am the guy from GameXplain. And they were really surprised by that. So that was fun chatting with them, regardless of whether they recognized me or not. But New Bean says, did it honestly feel like Walmart said, sorry, no switches, bot's gone. All right, here are our switches. So I was trying to quote them. It kind of did to a degree, right? Well, like, what was the store doing the fake ones? Not the fake ones, but you know what I mean? Like, it looked like, it's Best Buy, where the pre-order kept opening up, but we couldn't click on it, I think, or...
Oh, yeah, I did have that issue,
yeah.
Yep. That was Best Buy.
It was. Let's see, what else here? Goat says, wasn't close to a mess, so as you see by the poll, most people were able to get one. And I really do think that's a resounding success. I mean, comparatively. Obviously, I wish everyone got one. I feel bad saying that for those who didn't get one, but I know their experiences as, well, that sucked. I didn't get a Switch 2. But I think that, again, I don't think your hope is over or is diminished yet. If you really want a Switch 2, call up your local GameStops again. I think a lot of them are still going to have some inventory left. Now that is after today, that may very well change. So if you want to Switch 2, get on it right now. But it sounds like for most people who really wanted one, I think they were able to get one somehow. Lester says scalpers actually work at Nintendo. Maybe. Maverick in the super chat. Thank you, Maverick says, so what was the point in Nintendo having prerequisites for pre-orders that everyone's able to pre-order at stores? Yeah, that's a good point, because Nintendo still hasn't even sent out the thing yet for their own orders, right?
No, I think that those pre-orders go, on the 8th? Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. And that's like a few weeks from now, right? Like 2 or 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
So again, like if you can't get it today in person, or like I guess there's really no more online options, still check your Nintendo Switch, I guess NSO program to see if you can get it through there. And again, like I think, is it the family member or the head of the family member that gets the top priority or something like that? I have to look over that again, but I think there's something like that.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how that works. I actually found the Nintendo thing to be really confusing. Actually, here's something I want to discuss real quick, Nick, because I know you gotta go soon. Is how could this be improved even further? Like, obviously, this didn't go perfectly, but even if it went smoother than the past console launches, but what can they do better in the future, like retailer-wise, Nintendo-wise, to make this a smoother experience for Switch 3, God forbid.
Yeah, Switch 3 in like 10 years.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the way GameStop did it was actually good, right? Like
Yeah.
they open up the stores at a specific time in the morning, day of. You can also pre-order it online. So again, like if you're in line, maybe you can do both. Like I was telling people that, like, hey, even if you don't think you're going to get a pre-order, you can still do it on your phone app while you're waiting in line to pre-order in person. Yeah, I think Walmart and Target and Best Buy should be looking at GameStop for the future, right? Like, hey, do pre-orders online and in person. Like have a set amount so you can tell your customers, hey, like if you're this number of line, you're not going to get one. So yeah, the way GameStop handled it today, I think worked out really well.
Yeah, I agree. They were actually shockingly on point. So I think in general, for when it comes to online retailers, have your servers prepared. Like
Yeah.
we shouldn't have been running into errors on Best Buy and Target. And I know some people had errors in Walmart, but they actually worked pretty well for me. And yeah, like have your crap together, right? We shouldn't have to be dealing with this again. It's a stressful experience. It makes me not want to use your website again.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, just get it together. Like it's really stressful. It shouldn't be that stressful. Like maybe have like an early queue even, or I don't even know. I guess I wouldn't fully avoid the problem. But yeah, have just better improve your actual services so that people are actually able to get their pre-orders if they're there on time. You know, the line system at Walmart actually worked really well, I thought.
Yeah.
So the virtual queue,
And
basically.
I don't think there was a line system for either Best Buy or Target. So, like you said, it's just crazy. It's 2025, and we're still having issues like pre-ordering systems. Like I know it was high demand, and that's the thing. These retailers should know that this product is going to be a hot new thing. So it just seemed like they weren't prepared. But GameStop, on the other hand, was. So
Yeah, at least for the in-person experience. Some
yeah,
people are mentioning the website crashed for them.
of course, yeah.
Yeah, Johnny says Target and Best Buy made me mad. The Walmart app came in clutch for me. I didn't even think to use the Walmart app. The website worked for me, luckily, in that case. Matt says, honestly, doing pre-orders in person is a better experience. I know that would mean there would be a lot of people online, but it's just easier to get there early enough. You will 100% get it. Exactly. So I guess on the Nintendo side of things, and this will probably be the final thing for you, Nick, is there anything Nintendo could do better, you think, themselves? Obviously, they don't have control over the retailers themselves beyond telling them when they can open pre-orders, but is there anything else Nintendo could have done, you think, to have bettered this experience?
I guess I'm shocked that they weren't like the first priority, right? Like you would figure like they would be the first ones to have these pre-orders out. So the
Yeah.
next console or the next Switch or whatever, I think they should be the first one. And then you go to the pre or the retailers next after that. So I think that's what they could have done. I think they should made their messaging a little bit more clear on who is and isn't going to be able to get in the pre-order because like I talked to friends and they're like, oh, you need to have like a certain amount of hours played and you need to be subscribed to NSO for like this amount of time or something like that. So I wish the messaging was just a little bit more clear from Nintendo. And like I said, I wish they were the first ones to take pre-orders out of these retailers.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I basically agree. I think Nintendo's messaging, maybe it's me getting older and I just can't keep up anymore. I feel like Nintendo's messaging has been kind of bad throughout, you know,
Yeah.
especially once that direct ended the first time. And like I found the whole Nintendo process itself confusing. I just didn't even understand it. Like we have to log
Yeah.
into my I just found it really confusing. And I think what Nintendo could do better is like have a central hub. Maybe they do, I didn't know about it, but I don't think they did. Tell us where we go to pre-order from retailers. Tell us exactly how it works for the Nintendo side of things. It just all felt very unclear to me. And that's something I think Nintendo could really improve on. Just like get the message clear, you know, and I think a lot of people would appreciate that.
Yeah,
What am I doing? Jesus. I don't know. It's blinding me. All
Yeah,
right.
no, I completely agree. Like it'll be interesting to see how hectic the Nintendo pre-orders are going to be like from their store. And chat, like please keep us updated. Like whoever hasn't gotten one today, hopefully you're able to get your last shot with the Nintendo website pre-orders directly through them.
I had another tweet here, a reply to me asking for people's stories. They say, my pre-order process is great, but chaotic. Ended up arriving at midnight. Nobody was there. Stayed for about 2 hours, and the security found me and escorted me out. Came back at
What?
5 a.m., back to the front. 52 people total came lined up, and I walked out of that store tired but triumphant. All right, I'm glad it was a success story in the end. They're not in the chat right now, I don't think, but I'm glad that worked out for them. James says, took them about an hour and 40 minutes. I tried Walmart first, but neither the site or app was working. Then I tried Target, was able to get to checkout, but wasn't letting me pay. Then I was in line at Best Buy until Target had more for sale, but I was able to grab one then. Yeah, it was just like, again, online was chaotic, especially because here's another thing they could improve. Do it earlier in the day. Midnight sucks. Like, West Coast wasn't too bad. It was 9 p.m. for them. But for you, Nick, like, you were up till, I mean, partially because we're streaming again, but if you hadn't gone, I mean, even without that, you would have been up till like 1 a.m. your time at least, I think.
Yeah, I was. Oh, there's a siren going off, but give me 1 second.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, no, I was up till like 2 o'clock, and then I woke up around like 6. So I only got a few hours of sleep last night because of just trying to pre-order it from online. Like you said, the time isn't that reasonable. I wish
No.
it was at a reasonable time.
Really was. Speaking of time, Nick, I think
Yeah.
is it time for you to go now?
Yeah, I'm gonna be heading out.
All right.
Chat, thank you so much. Oh yeah, I guess you can find me here on GameXplain. You also find me on my own channel, Septendo. I just hit over 6,000 subscribers last night, so thank you everyone to subscribe to me over there. Really appreciate it, and good luck everyone else trying to get their pre-orders today. And hopefully, if you don't get it today, you get it through Nintendo's website in a few weeks. But yeah, I'll be heading out, everyone. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, go follow Nintendo. Let's get them. Wait, are you at 6,000 now? Or are you still approaching?
Yeah,
it?
I hit.
Yeah,
6,000
congrats.
last
That's
night, so
awesome.
yeah.
All right, good stuff. But let's go get Nick some more. Nick, I'm gonna keep the call going just so
Yeah,
I
go
can.
for it.
Yeah, but feel free to just ignore it.
Yeah.
So, all right,
All right.
see you, Nick. Good to hang
See
out
you
with
guys.
All right, I'm not going anywhere. Chat. Not. Whoa, holy crap! Look at this. Should we? Should we? Is this too much, chat? So I don't have a way of actually, I don't have a single frame ready right now. Let me turn off one of these. This is a little chaotic. This is not ideal, but I'll stick around for a few more minutes here with a blank half. That was hilarious. People were laughing in the chat. That was really funny. Twilight Zone, basically. But yeah, if there's any other experiences you guys want to share with me, please let me know. I'll be here for another 5-10 minutes maybe. I unfortunately have to go pretty soon too. As I've got to head over to Dallas. It's a 5-hour drive, but I'm going to be there for the Switch 2 event tomorrow. So if anyone's there, I would love to meet up with you guys. If anyone is at the Switch 2 event in Dallas tomorrow, we are multiplying Natsu. Better watch out. There's two. Well, that's right, Majestic. Lomax says, is the C button on the Pro Controller off center or is it an illusion? I actually don't know. Probably an illusion is my guess, but Johnny says 2 for 1. Exactly. If only pre-orders work that way, right? Let's see. 2 Andres, that's right, Jesse. So yeah, chat, are there any other pre-order experiences you have before we wrap it up here? Anything like good, bad, any other thoughts that can improve things? I'm just curious what any other people's stories are. You says I got mine at Trail and at the trail end of the Target pre-orders when they restocked. Glad to hear that. Yeah, that was a scary thing, right? When that pre-order thing would close, like we're out of stock, but then more would come in again. Crazy, you couldn't get pre-order a Switch 2? Try calling GameStop. I think a lot of them still have stock left. So calling GameStop and seeing if you can go there in person and pre-order it. Yeah, Seanish says such a good experience at GameStop. That seems to be almost a universal experience. And yeah, looking at our poll, by the way, based on the latest results, 43% of people had a better experience with the other consoles with the Switch 2. 20% had worse, and then 37% had not sure. So that overall, it sounds like, even though it's still a little bit messy, the experience was better for more people on Switch 2 than it was for other past platform pre-orders. So that's really good. You bought 5 accessories, Rick Fury? What, the camera, the Pro Controller, like a case, screen protector? What's the 5th? Roger the Super Chat, thank you, Roger, says, and also a channel member, thank you, Roger, says, pre-ordered 2 Switch 2s from Best Buy last night. They canceled it 30 minutes later due to taking too many pre-orders, ended up getting base unit. Wow, really? They canceled your pre-orders because you took too many? I could see canceling all but one. Canceling them all? That sucks. So, unless you mean they took too many pre-orders in general, that's why they canceled them. That still sucks, but that makes more sense. So, I'm glad you got one through, though. Let's see. Jesse says they waited at their GameStop since 7 a.m. Got mine within the hour. Glad to hear it. That seems to be the universal experience, really. Cave Dude says, I waited 2 hours in line for GameStop. I had a lovely experience nerding out with some fellow Nintendo fans. I got the bundle and Pro Controller. Yes, love hearing that. Good stuff. Whoa. Oh, whoa. Hold on. Oh, I'm gone entirely. Whoa. Where'd my call go? Sorry, chat. Hold on. I can fix this. Sorry, chat. Let me put the webcam in. I think the call has ended entirely on it. I'm still here, chat. Hang on. I'm sorry. I've got to think if I want to do this. I want to do video capture source. This is Insider Baseball here. There we go. All right. Well, that is not what I wanted. Okay. This is even weirder than the two of me. All right, let's fix this. I wonder if I can... Here, I'll fill up 1.5 of the frames. There we go. All right. Oh, is there echo now? Oh, yeah. Okay, I fixed the echo. Sorry about that. Oh, my God. Stressful chat. Stressful when things change on me. I'm such a boomer. Mutator with a super chat. Thank you. Says, I got to my GameStop and the kiosk girl was there. She offered me her bundle if I didn't have one, but I said I'd rather have her number and have it to me. Wait, did you get her number, Mutator? That sounds like a total win situation. I'm jealous, honestly. That sounds great. I'm happy for you too, hopefully. All right. They fused. That's right, Natsu. Did we get another super chat? No, that was it. So just making sure I didn't miss anything. All right, you got the number. All right, Mewtwo. That's congrats. That's a win. I'm happy for you. That's awesome. What's the title of the stream trying to say? Wait, did I disappear again? No, I didn't. Okay, yeah, we're good. Switch to pre-order Tails. I had that right. That's right, Tails, right? Yeah, that's right, Tails. So it was we're gathering tales of people switch to pre-orders experience. That's what that meant. So dubious foods. That's rejection hotline. LMAO. Sneaker says switch to is broken. Wait, how is it broken? You mean the pre-orders process is broken? All right, chat. Any other stories? I think we may be winding down here. But yeah, overall, it sounds like it was messy last night. But it sounds like a lot of people were successful despite that. And this morning, it really seems like it really panned out for everyone else at this point. Almost everyone else. We knew I had one or two GameStop experiences that weren't favorable for them. Neil says they got theirs in person for GameStop. Yeah, that's great. Larkin Daisy says they were camping last night. Camping last night was long, but worth it now. Glad to hear it. What else? Brett with the claps. Thank you, Brett. Good having you here. Coop says they got it from Target after refreshing 50 times and having to re-enter information, but got the order number after half an hour. Not too bad in the grand scheme of things. So, Alexander can't wait for launch day. Heck yeah. Let's see. Anyone else? Yeah. The Ridiculous says GameStop in store was super smooth. I went in early, so I was like fourth in line. That's great. Yeah, good for you. Angry Dragon says I got mine from Best Buy to do a midnight launch. Awesome. Wait. Oh, did you wait. You were able to pre-order for at your store, or do you order online for a local store pickup? I don't know they offered me that option. I wish I'd looked at that, because yeah. Anyways, I ordered through GameStop for the local pickup option. I'm doing great, Jeremy. Thanks for asking. Nick was here. They were doing great too, but they had to leave a little bit early. I'll be shutting down the stream in a little bit here pretty soon, but I've got other work to do today. Oh, what do you mean? Johnny is asking. We're getting a second update for DK. What do you mean by update? I don't know what you mean by that. Launch day is June 5th, DE. So yeah, if you pre-order, you will get it June 5th, hopefully. I was able to order. I have actually 4 pre-orders right now. I was able to get 2 through Walmart. A friend of mine picked it up for me on my behalf at Target, and then I got another one today at GameStop in person. So. Yeah, they haven't announced Nintendo Live 2025 yet, have they? I wonder if they will this year or not. Yeah, GG's Dino. I agree, Sneakers. The DK Bonanza does well. Hopefully that means we get Diddy Kong Racing too. That'd be amazing. Thomas, I didn't see what you're asking. Oh, I answered you, Thomas. We all know. Yeah, another success story. Vargas says GameStop in person was seamless. Yes, that seems to be the consistent thing. Nintendo Man says GameXplain live stream tomorrow. Probably not, but I'll actually be in Dallas for the Switch 2 event. So probably no live stream tomorrow, I'm sorry to say. Biddy says, last night was a poop show. Drove right down to get one very smooth on GameStop. Yes, that is the universal experience. Online was very messy. In person, shockingly smooth, you know? Really nice, actually. Irvincible says, Best Buy is truly the Best Buy. Glad to hear that. Is the GameCube controller 85 Canadian? You know what? It's worth it. It is the best controller of all time. I usually have one on my desk here. I don't this time, sadly. Oh, no, I do. Yes. Wavebird. Yeah, and actually the new controller is basically a better Wavebird. It's a wireless gaming controller without the giant battery pack on the back. So, heck yeah. Retro Jordan says, took me 50 minutes to get a pre-order from Walmart, but I was so relieved, LOL. It was a relief afterward, right? Lego Builder says it was so chaotic, but they got their pre-orders. Glad to hear that. I just said, Thomas, that we don't know if there's going to be a Nintendo Live this year or not. All right. Nintendo Freak says Dallas Fort Worth area is raining since this morning, so people went to GameStop in person and got wet. Oh no! Hopefully it's not too bad on the roadways, but I'll be driving there in a few hours. So, sorry to hear that, Thomas. All right. Well, chat, I think we may wrap it up here. But yeah, chat, I'll keep an eye out for any last comments potentially. It's been a lot of fun though, chat. Thanks for hanging out with me last night and Nick as we got our pre-orders in. That I heard from some people that it helped relieve the stress for them, which I'm glad we were able to do. Roger, the super chat. Thank you, Roger says, I live in Dallas and I couldn't get in. Oh, I'm sorry, Dallas. Or I'm sorry, Roger. I wish you could get in. That's a bummer. Especially with you being right there, you know. But I know there's a lot of people trying to get in there. I applied to like 3 or like almost every different Switch 2 event in every region or every local region and across 3 different accounts. I only got into the one. So Giant gone GameStop. All right. I know I'm sorry, Diamond Star. I've been here for almost an hour and I've got stuff to do, unfortunately. Got to finish up a video, then got to get out on the road, unfortunately, with a 5 freaking hour road trip probably. But yeah, Night Raven says, I hope you get your Switch 2 chat in the future. Oh, I think they're saying to the chat that they hope that everyone gets their Switch 2 in the future. I hope so too, everyone. So, but yeah, it was fun hanging out with all of you both last night and this morning. I'm glad to hear so many success stories. Again, if you haven't gotten your Switch 2 yet and you want one, give your local GameStops a call. Call them up, look them up on Google Maps, call them up. They may still have inventory left, but it really does seem like that a lot of locations did not sell out this morning. So especially on the West Coast where stores are just now opening up really. Roger's another super chat, thank you, says, looking for my Nintendo friend Elaine. Or Elaine, I think? Oh, at Dallas, yes! I will keep an eye out for them. I'm going to the 12 p.m., 12:30, 1:30, or 12 to 1, I think. So if your friend is there or around that time frame, I will, well, I don't know what they look like, but let them know that I'll be there, I guess, and I'm a little bit more easily recognizable. But yeah, if I hear of an Elaine, I think, if I'm saying that right, I will let them know. So thanks for the super chats, Roger. And Roger says she will be there for the whole event. Oh, the whole event. Oh, wait, is she actually working the event? Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye out for her then. So, all right. Peach Toadstool says, good luck with your Switch 2 pre-orders. I just got mine secured at GameStop 40 minutes ago. See, just 40 minutes ago. You can still get your pre-orders. So I think this is looking really good, everyone. All right, chat. Well, there we go. I think we're going to wrap it up there. Thanks so much for watching, chat. It was a lot of fun chatting with you. I know it wasn't a perfect experience for everyone. It sounds like there are a lot of success stories. Oh, she's working at the event and she's been a friend for 2+ decades. That's amazing, Roger. Well, I'll keep an eye out for her. So that's fun. Maybe if you know what booth she's working. Oh, I don't know what they can say, but I'll keep an eye out regardless. In any case, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Chat, it was good hanging out with all of you. If you haven't already subscribed, consider subscribing to the channel. We'll be back with more on Switch 2, especially from the Dallas event very soon. Should be a lot of fun. And I've got a fun video already for the weekend planned. If you're a YouTube member, it's already in the back end for you. It's a new Cool Bits, another one. So, and yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. We will catch you later. It was fun hanging out. I'm just repeating myself at this point. Man, it was a long night, chat. I was up till like 2 a.m. almost. I didn't even fall asleep. I barely slept last night. I woke up early for more pre-ordering stuff, and now we're driving 5 hours to freaking Dallas. It's gonna be a day. Thank you, Rare Sun. It should be fun. All right, I'm officially out of here. Have a good one, everyone. Enjoy your Switch 2s. If you didn't get Switch 2, I hope you get one soon, or hope you get your pre-order soon. Bye, everyone.